I just want to piggyback on what Paradise said. A lot of black women, like, they'll give their left lung to emasculate a man because that's all y'all know how to do. Y'all want the power of a man so badly. You want men to be feminine. Y'all don't even want men to be leaders because y'all want to be leaders. Y'all have so many problems with men, and y'all want men to be soft and act like women so y'all can actually become men. Y'all have penis envy, and it's disgusting.
What?
Y'all want men to start acting like bitches so y'all can turn around and start acting like men. The shit is disgusting.
No, we actually want our men to be able to communicate their emotions with us in relationships like
And
they
that's
do.
not
Hey,
crying.
I'll let you finish. Like y'all do with each other. We're starting to
We don't
believe
cry with each other.
We're starting to believe that your bromances are more important than your romances.
It actually is. I can
We don't
explain.
cry with each other.
No. We're not going to jump off it.
about?
Yes, it actually is, Ali. You know why? Because another man can help me fix a car. Another man can help me stay alive.
He can lay in the bed with you too.
Hold on. If all hell breaks loose and we go to war or some dumb shit happens and there's no electricity, guess what? I'm teaming up with at least 5-6 men, and we're gonna figure that shit out. No goddamn women.
So
you know why? Whoa. Let me
Mm-hmm.
finish. You know why? Because other than sex and the other shit that women, babies and shit, in a tactical situation, in a life altering situation, what the hell is a woman gonna goddamn do?
And I feel sorry for
the bro, whatever you said, is more important.
Okay.
And the coldest part about all this is that man, if he had a family and a woman and kids, that is him expressing his emotions. Him making sure that they eat, him teaming up with the
y'all don't have that.
That's what? That's basically that's a man. You said what?
Do you have a wife?
No, I don't. But I'm telling. What is that? That has nothing to do with this. We're talking about emotions, not relationships. Status.
I said that men are able to express their emotions with other men in bromances. Like you said a man can cry to you, but Mr. LetGo said when a woman cries, we're childish. But he also said, hold up, and you also said that we're trying to communicate. So if we know that crying is a natural response from the body from pain, and a woman is crying to you to communicate, and you're telling her she's acting like a child, but when a man comes to you, you like, yeah, but he can help me fix this. Why don't y'all just lay in the bed?
Men don't cry with each other.
But that's not what he was saying, though. He
said that women only are good for sex.
That's not. He's using it as an analogy, though.
It's an analogy. Equation.
If you take sex out the equation, y'all are screwed. What are you talking about?
No,
you can't take sex out the equation, Ali. What are you talking about? If you take sex out of the equation,
baby for 9 months
for you and the rest of y'all? What are you talking about? You take sex out of the equation.
We have to, as women, stop this obsession, like Mr. LetGo is saying. And yes, I'm saying, like Mr. LetGo is saying, with wanting, you can roll your eyes all you want, Andrea. I really don't care. This obsession with women wanting men to be like women. That's the reason you have a man and a woman. They're not supposed to. I'm still talking.
Let's do one at a time so they can hear us. We're going to go to Kasey and then we'll go to Andrea.
A man and a woman are different, and they're supposed to fit together and be different for a reason. It's designed that way. They're not going to express themselves the same. They're not going to move through life the same. The world doesn't respond to each of our genders identically. The world responds to us differently because we are different. If a woman is at work crying, her entire staff or her coworkers are, oh my God, what is wrong with you? Is everything okay? You're not yourself. If that same job, those same colleagues and coworkers see a grown man crying, they're gonna go, something's going on with him mentally. He needs some help. Oh, maybe he needs to go talk to the counselor or something. It has to be something mentally wrong with him. He's weak. He's this. He's that. The world does not respond to us the same, and we are not responding to our emotions the same. So we have to get to a point where we accept each other's differences. And like Daryl was saying, be supportive in each other in those differences. It is okay. It is okay for a man in a relationship to have that safe place with his significant other, his wife, his girlfriend, the serious relationship, where they can have those intimate moments. But in the world, you're not going to see a group of men just crying. It's not going to happen. If a 17-year-old boy is on the football team and the coach is telling them what's going on in practice and it's too hard and the boy starts crying, the whole team is going to call him a wuss. The whole team is going to look at him as weak. He can't take the coach. He can't take the environment. It's too hard for you. You don't belong here. That's what the world is on men. And until and unless you guys as women, as women, really respect that and understand what they have to deal with is not the same for us, it's not the same for women in general, and it's not the same for Black women, then we're going to always be in this gender war bullshit that everybody keeps talking about, because there's a lack of understanding. You have to understand we're not the same, period.
Hold on, Andrea. Hold on, Andrea. Give me 1 second. I know I said you can go next. Marcus haven't gone yet. Then we're coming to you. Go ahead, Marcus.
All right. So I think one of the biggest misconceptions about emotional men is that society acts for them. When we move forward, we think that men crying, like Paris was hinting to, is a way that we express our emotions, and clearing space for that is the way. But I do not think, again, I firmly stand on that. From a leadership position, you have to be able to set the tone for the family and set the tone for how you want things to move forward. Now, do you have to have emotions? We're human. We absolutely have emotions, but we have to regulate them. So an an overly emotional man, or a man who shows emotions in a manner that's not befitting of manhood, it's not that he's not a man. It's not that he's soft. It's not that he's weak. It's that he lacks the tools necessary in order to properly process the information and the feelings that he's having. We need to have the tools in order to move forward, to be able to stand in the gap for our families while still being able to not dehumanize ourselves. And I think a lot of things get misconstrued about what that looks like. So we don't have to express anger to the extreme, because as they hinted to earlier, it absolutely turns into violence, right? I think that's what younger men who really don't have those tools and no control over their testosterone regulation. That's why the violence uptick goes like that. That's why we got these issues in the city. I was raised in that, so I completely understand why that goes that way, right? But as I got older, I had to sit back and just think, like, I was blessed, extremely blessed, to make it to this age, like extremely blessed. And one of the things I learned was you got to guard your words like you guard your life. You have to guard your words like you guard your life. And that requires you to emotionally regulate. It requires you to be emotional, but to understand, I got to run this through my logic filter. So what comes out my mouth is what I'm trying to say to get the desired result I want. I can't just run off the handle and just, or just be whining and doing all those things, because it's either going to elicit a negative response, violence, or weakness. And them all things I don't want. So I think the biggest misconception about emotional men is that society acts for them. It never acts for them. It never acts for them. I think we understand what women say, and we hear it through a filter as men. They never asked for us to be emotional like that. We misunderstood what they were saying because we speak differently. I think that's the biggest misconception.
I like that, Marcus. Go ahead, Andrea.
Okay, so specifically referring to the video, the young man gave like 3 examples. One was crying, one was beating women, and another one was shooting up a school. I just find it interesting how it seems like, because me and Aaliyah were specifically talking about crying, all of the women who have an opposing side are maliciously turning our words and making it seem like us talking about mental health is equal to us trying to demasculate a man. I think that is extremely harmful. I think it's extremely dangerous, because it's taking away from the point that all that I'm specifically saying is that it's okay to show your human side and be relatable. It is human to cry. I'm sorry. It just is. Everyone does it. And it's not abnormal. So for it to become this conversation where you think that we're some type of bloodthirsty vampires who are like fiending to see someone hurt or to see someone showing some type of a pain emotionally, I think that is just extremely dangerous. And it seems like it's personal.